Today we discuss whether or not I'm a tree-hugging rock licker and do a quick walk down memory lane in our history rewind. Welcome to another episode of the Gideonstactical Show. Yeah, what's up folks? Welcome back another day, and man, there's really something on my mind, a concept I want to share with you that may put me into the camp of being like a tree hugger. You know, a tree hugging rock licker is what me and my buddy Brian here at the channel like to say. And I want to hear from you guys. Do you think that I'm a tree hugging rock licker after you guys watch this video and the concept and just kind of the idea that I'm about to pitch to you? And then some cool things happened on February 2nd, the day that this is going live, throughout history that I just wanted to give you a quick heads up to, maybe spark your interest, because I love history. I think it's a very important part of just learning and growing and life. So really excited about that. We'll jump into it in just a second. Just want to thank you guys always for your support by using the Amazon and Blade HQ links below for any of your purchases that you may be looking for. Really helps us out, continues to do what we do here. And don't forget about our Knock Around sunglass company. They're coming out with new stuff all the time. They got the custom store, they got kids, they got stuff for the entire family. It's an awesome, inexpensive, very high value sunglasses that they're cranking out over there. Check out those hyperlinks below and backcountry.com for all of the gear that you see here. A lot of it you can find on Backcountry, often at discounted prices. A lot of times they have promo codes. Sometimes you can get last year's models, clearance items, things like that, that they have over there. And items that they don't sell on Amazon, places that it's a little tricky to find. They have apparel, like cool apparel, things like that. So we just really appreciate it when you guys are like the page. You know, when you guys hit that thumbs up, it does really help us continue to grow, continue to get in front of other eyeballs. When you guys subscribe and hit that subscribe button, if you're not a current subscriber, and if you are, to make sure to hit that bell icon so that the videos will make sure to show up in your news feed. That little bell icon is right next to the subscribe button. So if you haven't done that, just double check and make sure it's on, and that'll make sure it's in the news feed. And again, purchasing through all the links that we offer to you fuels the channel, helps us continue to do what we do. So this video and the concept and the title, and you guys are probably perking your interest, like, what are you talking about? Like a tree hugger? Yeah, we just take it to the next level. A tree hugger, you know, somebody who's like just so in tune with nature, man, and ooh, do you feel the vibes and the energy of the mountains, bro? That, and just taken to the next level, that they're a tree-hugging rock licker. They just love the earth that much, so they're just like, ah. So, I don't think I'm that, but I want to hear from you guys if you think that I'm that. Because something that is important to me, it's a value system that I just want to share with you, and it really kind of started with my dad, you know, growing up, and moving to the Rocky Mountains when I was 9 years old, and going on hiking trips and camping and going out into, you know, just around town, whatever it was. One thing that my dad always instilled with me was, you know, don't throw your trash around. Don't you know, pick up trash, throw it in the dumpster. We'd be hiking, you know, and we see like a plastic bottle on the side of the trail. If it was, you know, kind of a heavy to use trail, my dad would pick it up and put it in the backpack, and just to clean up after yourself, really. And so I've always valued taking care in one way or the other, the world around us. You know, just taking some simple steps in life just to keep your environment clean, what you're doing. And I would consider myself, and like my dad, my brother, to be more conservationists. We're by no means environmentalists. Environmentalism, when you look at that, is like trying to use political means and force people to change, and I don't believe in that. I believe in being able to give people just smart, simple opportunities on how they personally can either see the value of changing their environment, cleaning up after themselves, taking care of, you know, I've been to third world countries where I was in Haiti, where you're walking downtown and there's literally piles of trash lit on fire, and you're getting like headaches from the plastic bottles that are just melting in these like trash piles because there is no sanitation whatsoever. So, I mean, I've been to third world places. That's just one of many places. I've been to several places in Africa, the Middle East, where you see that, where like there's no sanitation, there's no healthy, you know, way of taking care of trash and recycling, and all that stuff just doesn't exist. And so, you know, I totally believe in like helping people see like don't burn plastic, do this with plastic, or, you know, like let's figure out how we can get, you know, recycling in there, or, you know, find a different way to use the plastic, different things like that. You know, it's very important to me. But not forcing people, you know, like political gunpoint and governmental gunpoint to try and do that. I don't agree with that. And so yeah, I just wanted to encourage you to, if you don't currently do that, to just be aware of your environment and clean up. You know, I mean, there's nothing wrong with if you're sitting on a park bench, you know, you see like a couple plastic bottles, pick them up and throw them in the trash. Clean up the area around you, but also instilling that in your children. You know, that's something that we're instilling into our kids already, teaching them how to clean up after themselves, trash, those type of things. But 2 steps that I just wanted to encourage you with, if you're not currently doing it, that I have personally tried to do in my life. I encourage my wife to do it, our kids, and be a simple way just to cut back a little bit on our consumer products, the plastics in particular, that I just don't need to use. I don't need to create that type of footprint often where I go, and it has to do with bottles, cups. So I love Nalgene's. Nalgene's are like my jam. I have probably 10 of them in the house. You guys know when I go out trekking and around town a lot of time, I'll do these 48-ounce silos, what they're called, Nalgene's. Go with the kind of cloudy version. These guys have some flex to them and are less likely to break when you drop them. If you get the rigid ones, which are usually like clear and colored, different color combinations, those I have dropped one and totally, you know, full and on the bottom and just shattered and blew up. So I'd recommend going with like a cloudy version if you want durability. Great billboards that stick all your cool stuff. Boom, boom, Jurassic Park, yeah, I mean, all that crap. Hike more, worry less, you know, all that stuff. Knock around. So it's a cool way to just kind of express yourself also. But what I have started to do in the last maybe 2 years, and I'm not like religious on this, like we're turning around if I forget my water bottle and we're going out to dinner or something, but is if I'm going to a place that I know serves drinks, and particularly water, because I usually try not to do soda and that type of thing on a regular basis, that, you know, like a fast food place, whatever, Cordova, Chipotle, McDonald's, Chick-fil-A, you know, I mean, name the place, whatever, where they're not going to serve me a beverage in a glass. It's going to be either a paper or plastic cup. I take my Nalgene with me. It goes into the store with me. I usually already have some water in it, but if I don't, boom, I just hit it right up against the machine, or I hand it to them and, hey, can you fill this up for me? And it's a simple way just to cut back a little bit on your consumable beverages and cups and plastics and those type of things. And it's just simple. I mean, and then you can walk out the door and you still have this. It's not like, oh yeah, I burned through like 3 cups today because I was traveling around town, and you just left a plastic footprint that you necessarily don't need to do. And you can save and just conserve the environment around you some. It's just a simple way to do that. And then the same with coffee. You know, I mean, think for a moment how many times a week you go to a coffee shop and get one of their paper cups. You know, now great, that's pretty biodegradable. You know, it's not going to be there for 1,000 years before it, you know, disintegrates. It'll take maybe, I don't know what they are, like 100 years maybe, or 50 years for a paper cup to completely disintegrate. But it is trash. It's taking up space in the nearest landfill. And so what I tend to do is I always try to make an effort and a point, and I have some really good mugs with me that I bring my own personal mug. It'll save you like 10 cents, and again, it's just less trash, and boom, you can hand it to them. Oftentimes it'll hold the heat a lot better. It's more travelable, if you will. I don't know how to describe that, travelable. So I just try to make an effort to bring my own beverage vessels when I go out and around town, daily living, you know, and going to the coffee shops and those type of things. Some of my favorites are these Stanley, and I'll try and just threw that across the table. Some of my favorite are these Stanleys. This one is a Black Rifle exclusive that I got over on their website, but this is an amazing coffee mug. I'll throw in a couple links below to my favorite Nalgene's, as well as like thermoses, things like that, just to give you some ideas if you're not really in the habit of doing this yet. I'll just give you some that I use, some little extra. I love this. This is called a Human Gear lid. It's just a better pour spout, more drinkable through a Nalgene. So I'll just include some of those below for you guys over to Amazon with those links below. But yeah, I encourage you to maybe make a little bit more of an effort for that. And particularly, one thing we don't do at our house is we don't have cases of water bottles like Arrowhead or Nestle or, you know, whatever, Walmart. We don't do that. You know, we have somewhat hard water at our house, so I make sure to do filters through the refrigerator, and we get our water through the refrigerator to cut down on plastics that way, and money that way too. I mean, if you have a situation where the water isn't the best at your home, short of it being like toxic, which maybe you should move, you know, to maybe consider investing a $50 or $100 to purify your water a little bit better under your tap. Or in your refrigerator, and then that will quickly not only save you money by not having to buy as many bottles of water, you know, just those little one-time use things, but also will, again, less clutter, less trash, less garbage floating around in this world. And it's just simple ways, simple things that we can do. So I just want to encourage you guys with some simple steps. Take your own beverage stuff with you, and it will cut down on some stuff, and it just trains your kids and, you know, the next generation well. All right, and so with that, we're going to jump over to the history rewind. This portion of the show is where I just share some, maybe it's deep, you know, topical stuff about things that have happened in history. Maybe it's just kind of a quick, you know, snapshot to maybe spark your interest, do a little bit more research. But just wanted to share a couple things here that I looked up, and this is, again, February 2nd. So on this day throughout history, the first one that I found was in 1653. So what is that? Like 350 years almost ago. New Amsterdam became a city. This was later renamed New York. So, you know, it's like 350 years old. It's really cool when you do some research and you find out the history of New York City and how it became what it was. The Erie Canal had a lot to do with that. That's a crazy story in itself. Maybe I'll do a history rewind on the building of the Erie Canal one day. That's super cool. Check that out. But yeah, on this day, New Amsterdam became a city and was designated a city. The next thing is in 1943, the German 6th Army surrendered after the Battle of Stalingrad, in a major turning point in Europe during World War II. And that, many historians mark that as one of the major turning points on the Eastern Front. And from that point forward, really, Germany could never hold back the Russians, and it was just a matter of time before they came into Germany and, you know, overcame them and helped end the war. So the Battle of Stalingrad, Enemy at the Gates is a pretty good movie of that. It has Jude Law as the main actor, about snipers throughout that thing. There's some major sniper battles that went on there. But there's a lot of history. I think it lasted several months. The Battle of Stalingrad, very, very brutal. Shows you how brutal the Russians were to their own men. Yeah, very interesting that happened on February 2nd. And man, can you imagine fighting in the Russian winter over like Christmas and January and into February? Oh my gosh, in a bombed out, just trash city. So, and thankfully, you know, that helped end the war in World War II. That was a step towards that, and a big step towards that, because I think they surrendered 500,000 men, something like that. 250 for sure. I'll try and annotate it if I can look it up real quick. But yeah, I mean, a ton of German soldiers surrendered when that battle ended, and the Germans couldn't get supplies to their men in Stalingrad. So anyway, some cool stuff that happened, interesting things. I encourage you to maybe research some more of those topics if either of those kind of sparked your interest. And yeah, this is going to be a shorter one today, guys, and I'm trying to do a little bit shorter ones. We've been doing some long ones here, but yeah, always love to hear your guys' thoughts. I want to hear again from you. Am I a tree hugging rock licker for suggesting these things? Do you guys agree? Do you do that yourself already? How many of you maybe are going to start doing it? I want to hear your thoughts on that whole conservation idea. And yeah, check us out on Instagram, Facebook, all social media. Check that stuff out. Subscribe if you're not a current subscriber. Become part of the GT family, throwing up stuff like this every single week. And finally, guys, always remember, stay equipped, stay prepared, and we'll see you out there.